And during this weird time, guys, when Valorant's around, other games are taking off like Warzone as well, it could take away from the audience of a lot of other games. Fortnite being one, Overwatch being another, Apex being a third out there as well. It takes the top figures of these games to stick around to keep their own main games thriving, and that's why I greatly respect a guy like Tfue who doesn't have to move games. It makes you wonder what the likes of Ninja's going to do as several other creators depart the game of Fortnite, not only for Valorant, but for other games as well. How can this game survive longevity wise? Well, it's because people like Tfue, they find Valorant very boring.
F that. It's just it's so fucking slow. Kids ain't gonna want to play this shit. It's like more of like a patient strategy based old man's game, you know? Yeah. I don't know if I'll play this game much. It's pretty boring, dude. I don't like playing on a team with people. I just like 1v1. You know what I'm saying? Where's Scope at? Does he want to play scrims? This game's boring me, bro. What do you think of the game? I mean, it's a good game. It's just boring. It's for like older people for sure.
And I for one am totally okay with this take. This game will not be for everyone. Am I worried about the future of Fortnite? I don't necessarily think so. If you have key figures out there and your top pro players will remain inside Fortnite. We have long talked about the dozens of players, streamers, and pro players leaving Fortnite for Valorant and other games that have been taking off. I'm not really worried about Fortnite, and I've always stressed that. Yes, I do think it's in a downturn. It's certainly when it comes time for a player base and viewer base, it's on the decline. No one is denying that. Although I think it will be around for a long-term play, I compare that to other esports out there that don't have figures sticking around. When it comes to Overwatch, you see guys like XQC and a bunch of Overwatch pros and players and streamers directly leaving or retiring from that game and going to Valorant, and they're not looking back. Am I worried about Fortnite? No. You're going to have Tfue, you'll have Ninja, you'll have Booga, you'll have all the top figures out there likely staying because, as for now, the prize pool will be there, the viewership will still be there for a game like Fortnite. It depends what Valorant's going to do. Valorant is not going to detract near as many people from Fortnite as it will from Overwatch. We have seen a long laundry list of pro players out there departing Overwatch for a game like Valorant because it's a crossover from CSGO, Apex, and Overwatch. So certainly when it comes time for comparing games that I'm worried about, I am far more concerned about Overwatch and who is going to remain to actually make content and stream that game as compared to Fortnite. I think it'll do just fine with guys like Tfue really sticking up and making that last stand. Tfue is doing great viewership-wise, especially during this time where everyone and their mom is streaming Valorant. I love the fact he can stick it up and say, no, this game is boring. It's not fast-paced. I don't like it, so I'm going to stick to Fortnite and do just fine. I greatly respect that, but it does draw concern for me, not for Fortnite, but a game like Overwatch. Who's standing up for that game? To some people out there, yes, this game of Valorant might be very boring. Tfue being one of them. I still think it's very cool to see the growth of this game alongside the likes of Fortnite, of course, Warzone as well. Don't forget, if Warzone actually figures out its cheaters, that could spell a little bit of trouble for a game like Fortnite. This next 6 months or so is going to be very interesting for the top games and esports out there. It's going to be very cool to see what figures out there like Tfue stick to their main game or make that main switch. As we have long talked about, many players leaving the game of Fortnite. There are plenty of players leaving CSGO, plenty more leaving Overwatch and Apex and other esports, all to go to a game like Valorant. Let's see what players stick it out in Valorant and what players actually go back to their main games. It's going to be a wild time, and I'm going to be here to break it down for all of you guys. What do you think the future is of all of these games out there? Valorant, Fortnite, Overwatch. Which game is most likely not to survive? You probably know my answer.